what does a healthy relationship look like? So in today's podcast, Cece and I, we're going to talk about some of the things you can look for to determine if you are in a healthy relationship or if you are not. Stay tuned.
Hey, Blissful friend, welcome back to another episode of the Blissology podcast. I am your host, Cece, and I'm joined by my hubby. What's going on, babe?
Hey everybody, this is Will, and thank you for joining us today. We're glad to have you. If this is your first time with us, please remember to subscribe and hit on that notification bell so you can be notified when we put out new videos. This is a weekly podcast, and in this podcast, we talk about...
we talk about love, life, family, relationships. Y'all know what we talk about here.
And that's it.
If you've been around here for 2 years, you've been riding with us for 2 years, so you know what's the deal, okay? So, as you guys know, before we go into the topic, we like to talk about our blissful moment. For me, my bliss moment was last week. My dad's birthday was great. We had a good time, you know. We had Taco Tuesday. I made Taco Tuesday for my parents.
Yeah.
Hubby came after work, stopped by and had some Taco Tuesday with his sweet potatoes and chicken.
Yes. I chopped up my sweet potatoes. I put a little bit of lettuce on there. Chopped up my chicken.
Yeah.
I put some ground beef on it.
Sure did. I had that before and it was good. It's like when you like cut the sweet potatoes in half and you put the ground beef in there, you mix it up.
I chopped them up.
You mix it up and you like mix everything together. Oh, it tastes so good. It tastes so good. It kind of gives it flavor.
It was the lettuce that did it for me.
I don't know. I didn't put lettuce.
Yeah,
but we had a good time. You know, I feel like as our parents is getting older, they just want us to be around. They don't really care much about gifts. They just want their kids, grandkids to be there, wish them happy birthday, and enjoy the time with them. So we had a good time.
Yeah.
Although they had me working.
It was your choice.
It was my job as a realtor to drive them around to... We had appointments. Okay? We had appointments. So I had to do what I had to do. What's your blissful moment?
Mine is kind of like an unblissful moment. She's been complaining about my hair.
Unblissful moment. Baby, you are overdue for a haircut. Like, look at this. What's all this? Pull them up. Listen, I feel like when you a wife, a mother, there's so much you got to do. I had to remind my husband because every 2 weeks, he should have got this notification to get a haircut because I got it.
My phone was on silent.
I got it, and I was like, wait a minute, you were due last Thursday to get a haircut. And he's like...
Yeah, I'm a week overdue.
Yes. And I'm like, make sure you get it done next week.
Bad, though.
Baby, it's like...
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like screaming out for, you should braid them.
I'm good. I am good.
We should braid the hair. Anything you have coming up this month or this week? Can't believe it's the last Saturday of January already. Like, I feel like we just started the New Year's.
Yeah, it felt
and
that
now
way.
We already like...
At the end of the first month. So if you've had your New Year's resolution and you haven't started, you're already behind. Oh, I don't have a New Year's resolution. I have a project I've been working on, but that started way before the new year.
You know, one thing I realized that 2 years ago, 2019, back in February or January 2019, where I stopped doing New Year resolution.
Yeah.
I would not start in January. I'll start in February because I feel like it's such a rush to just jump into January and like, okay, I got to start working out. I got to do this and do this and do this. Let me just let January feel like, let's see what you about, you know? And then we're going to start putting on some action into the New Year resolution. So that's how it's been for me since 2019. But sometimes I feel like, you know what? It's God's plan. Let God do its job. Let it do what it do. And then we'll see where it takes me.
I don't have a New Year resolution. I've just been working on some stuff. And that started way before the new year.
It sure did. I wonder how many of you guys give up.
No, I didn't give up. I mean, there's still things.
No, I said how many of you guys, because you know how it is. New year, new me, go to the gym, working out. Like,
the New Year's bandwagon already.
Yeah.
I don't know. Still early though. It usually lasts a few weeks.
But it's the month.
Anyway, let's get into the topic of the day. Today we're going to talk about what does a healthy relationship look like.
Is it like us?
I don't know. Are we healthy?
We're not. We may look like we are on the outside.
Let's look at what it means to be in a healthy relationship. Hey, listen, we have our stuff.
We do have our stuff.
And I don't think healthy means that things will always go the way you expect it to go. But I think that there's some things that a healthy relationship is based on, or something that's involved in a relationship being healthy.
Like trust, honesty.
Yes, trust and honesty and respect, affection.
Love. Well, like.
I'm still working on this one.
Listen, it's going to be 13 years next month, and he's still working on affection.
Some of us were born with certain things.
True.
And some of us weren't.
And I'm okay with that.
And I am honest about the things that I wasn't born with.
He's still working. And it's okay. It's okay. But I have not been complaining about it, because I know, it's going to take you over maybe like 20, 30 years for you to get it.
I'm doing better now. So she realizes. But yes, affection, that's important. And obviously open communication.
Yes.
This thing can break or make your relationship.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know we talk about this a lot on this podcast. We talk about communication. And I know we're not perfect, but we do bring up communication a lot, because my husband and I think we over-communicated sometimes, right?
She over-communicates.
We over-communicate sometimes, because I feel like, communication is the key to a healthy relationship.
Yes.
And when you let your husband, your spouse know what's going on, you're being honest, you trust them, and hey, I'm going to tell you if I'm getting you something, but I'm just saying, I feel like I do over communicate with you sometimes, and it's okay.
It's not a matter of feeling. You actually do over communicate. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'd rather know than not know, right? I'd rather have the conversation than not have the conversation. This is where you have to realize that it's going to take some effort. Mm-hmm. It's going to take some sitting down where you had no intentions of listening to someone for an hour, but because you're in a relationship, you kind of sit and listen.
An hour.
You kind of compromise some of your time just so you can listen.
Oh my God.
But it takes effort. It takes some compromise, and it takes it from both parties.
Absolutely.
It's not just one and the other. Not some will talk more than the other. And I'm pointing the right way.
It's you. Okay. It's you. Not me.
Like I said, some will talk more.
Let's just say
than the other.
My husband, you at some point, I think you still are. You still the person that talks a lot. And I'm like, okay, sir. Yes, sir. I don't be doing a lot of talking. I just don't.
Okay. She just do not. I say no more.
She just don't be doing. Yes.
So let's kind of go and dissect those parts. I mean, obviously, when we think of trust, we think of you trusting me to do the right thing, right?
I always say this to you since we got together. I trust you. I don't trust other people around you. And I'm always going to say this. You probably heard me say this so many times on the podcast. Mm-hmm. Trust is a big deal. I trust my husband. Just like my mom was talking about sometime last week. She was like, I trust my husband, I trust your dad to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't trust them to be.
Trust is important. It's important in every relationship. You could be married, you could be dating, you could be engaged, committed. It's important. And building trust requires both parties.
You always say that.
Share things with each other.
That's something you talk about a lot, where you would talk about when someone cheats, not just one person, it's both parties.
Yeah, both parties. But in this case, I'm talking about the two of us that are in a relationship. We got to trust each other. But if someone goes and do something wrong with someone else, they both have to agree that that's what they want to do, right? Now, over time, trust will grow stronger. You'll find someone who just got with each other today or maybe last week, they won't trust each other as much as we trust each other because we've been together for years. So over time, trust will grow. And if you feel you have to hide things from your partner, it may be a sign you don't trust them.
It is a sign you don't trust them. It is a lack of trust. Let me just rephrase
this. If you feel like you not hide things from your partner, it is an absolute sign that you don't trust that
unless if it's something where you go buy something for your partner and you don't want him to see it or you want a surprise.
That's the occasional gift that you want to surprise.
Different.
No, that's nothing to do with you buying something that maybe you shouldn't have bought. And you lie about it. A pair of
shoes.
Right?
Yeah.
So but it could be other things. It could be family secrets. It could be things that maybe someone shared with you and you feel like if you tell your partner, they're going to go around and broadcast the thing.
Yeah.
Some people can't keep a secret. So there could be reasons. Or maybe you may have a deep, deep secret, something that happened in your past that you may feel like, I don't trust you to tell you that yet. Or I may never trust you to tell you that. Then in that case, I don't think you should even go further with this person. But trust is important.
Trust is important. And at the same time, don't be fooled by letting your man be around certain people, okay? Trust is important. When I say by certain people, like, don't be a fool. I'm just saying, sometimes we can look as innocent and we look, you have your husband with you or your wife with you, and then here comes somebody, like, just say a church member or whatever.
And pay your husband a compliment?
Yeah. Those church people, I don't be trusting them. I'm just saying. I don't trust them.
So.
What?
If you see me with my wife, don't ever pay me a compliment because it's going to cause me
No, that's not true. There's certain compliments is okay, but if
right now, only my beards are grayed. All this will become gray. Because she will cause me grief. So no compliments for me.
No, but no, seriously. Because sometimes you think they're like saints. They're like very humble, nice people. But behind your back, they're not. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm speaking from stories I've heard from other people. Okay?
Let me say this.
So be on the lookout for who you trust around your spouse.
Let me say this. The world has a lot of good people. And we all know it. And yes, it does have a lot of bad people. The key is to never let your guard down. Now, that doesn't mean you have to give your partner a hard time. But don't let your guard down. People can interact with people. And I'm always going to say that people can interact with people. Obviously, if I'm the man, I have to know what my role is. And there's some boundaries that I shouldn't cross. If you're the woman, you should know, hey, listen, there are some boundaries I shouldn't cross. And there's certain behaviors I shouldn't be engaged in.
Right.
And this is where it kind of leads into respect, because when you respect yourself, there's certain things that you wouldn't do or you wouldn't let people do to you.
Yeah.
Like, my wife don't like it. If I kiss people, then I don't kiss people.
You shouldn't be kissing.
She doesn't like it.
You're a grown man.
If people kiss me, when someone comes to kiss me, I run away.
That's not true.
Not that I'm afraid of you who's trying to kiss me. I'm afraid of this woman here. I'm not talking about lip kissing. I'm talking about innocent church kissing on the chick.
Yeah, they'll be innocent.
We can't have that.
They're not innocent.
This does not fly at my house or in this relationship here. There's no chick kissing. So
any of, whether if it's ours, my brother and his wife, my mom, my mom and my dad. No. Okay. Hi, how are you? How about a handshake? When someone is married, listen, I feel so awkward, so uncomfortable. If I know a friend that goes to the same church as me and I see their husband, I'm like, I don't hug them. It just feels so uncomfortable. Well, to me, it feels very uncomfortable. People. I'm just saying, like, I would either say, hey, how are you? Or a handshake or just wave. Because out of respect for my friend, I don't want to be like, oh, touchy feeling in, and before you know it,
they think you're doing something.
Before you know it, here goes another church person sees that we hugging. Oh, because they'll be talking. I'm just saying, okay. Yeah. I'm just saying.
So,
out of respect,
the respect piece is important.
Yes.
Which means there's certain things you don't put yourself in a position for your partner to think that you're doing something. And if you know they are, you'll just know what position you should be in. But it's important to have mutual respect for one another. Treat each other kindly, right? Very important. You can disagree on things, but don't go around and say things that you don't mean. Be kind. Now, there are many ways that a partner can show respect for each other. Relationship with respect means that partners offer support and security, right? You feel safe around me when I'm around. And I support you whenever I can, not bash down your idea. Because bashing your partner's idea can be a way of not showing respect.
Now, I agree.
If your partner's got a crazy idea, you can talk them down and help them make some sense of what's going on, right? But don't belittle your partner, because that's bad. Because you're taking away from that person's competence. And how could you do that if you say you love someone?
True. It's the same way it goes for when you're dating someone too. Like if you are with this person, I mean, you really have to respect that person. I definitely agree. Yeah.
Listening is important. Listening.
But you don't be listening to me.
I do. When you talk these 2 hours at a time, I listen.
Babe, I don't talk 2 hours at a time. Why are you lying to my audience?
She talks. Next time I'm going to set a timer.
I don't. Listen, when we talk, we listen to each other, and it builds me up. It builds each other up, okay? I drain somebody's energy.
Hey, listen, there's many times.
What are you trying to say? It drains your energy when I talk too much?
No, I'm not saying this. I'm just stating the fact. Now,
sometimes like
I joke around and say that you talk 2 hours. No, 2 hours, that's exaggerating. But we talk. But at the same time, it's important if you have something going on in your head that you at least be able to talk to. What? If you don't talk to me, whatever, say, call your friend and talk to them, or go outside and talk to the neighbor. We're together. So if you need to vent about something, or if you have an idea about something and you say, you may go to bingo. But you have to be able to talk to your partner and being able to sit there and listen. That's a sign of respect.
Yeah.
And when they bring up an idea, obviously, if it's a good idea, build it up. Or sometimes share your opinions. Opinions about, okay, this is this, maybe I'd do it this. Give some input, because that helps you build your partner up.
True. Because I just don't like people who are dating someone where it's like it's either my way or the highway. Where's the respect? It's like you're trying to tell me my opinion don't matter. It doesn't matter to you whether if I say something. What matters to you is what you want to do. Yeah. So I feel like it should always be both ways. You said something, I agree or disagree, and then we find ways to work it out.
Yeah, and then you're not always going to agree on everything. Expect to have disagreement. But just because you disagree, that doesn't mean you have to make this person feel less of a person than they are.
Yes. One thing I always tell my husband is that, all right, baby, I respect your opinion. I respect what you said. I always say that. Even if sometimes I may disagree with something that you want to do or something you
this woman sometimes gives me command. And I
don't give you command. I don't. But I'm like, okay, baby, even though I disagree, but I respect your...
Yes, there's been that. But I'll tell you, there's a couple of occasions she would say, hey, I think you should do it. And I said, no, I'm going to do it my way.
Oh, we had this thing last Saturday, y'all. I was like, why can't you listen to me? Okay, we had this thing last Saturday,
Sometimes this woman puts way too much energy on things that are very insignificant.
My mom said the same thing too last weekend. I get it. I don't know why.
I'm trying to teach her to save her energy for things that are important.
But I'm like, it makes sense to me to do it this way.
It made sense to
y'all. We were going back and forth with this, and I got so upset. I was like, why can't you listen? And then and it was just like so weird.
I know. But I was smiling in my head the whole time. It's like, why is this woman putting so much energy into this?
But you know what? He didn't listen to me, though. He decided to do it his way.
I intended not to. From the moment you said, hey, I need you to do it this way, I made it up in my mind. There's no way.
I was so mad.
This was supposed to be a learning experience. Because, when you're in a relationship, you spend all your time together. You spend... big things, you do big things together. You see each other do big things. You also see each other do small things. there are some small things that are not deserving of all your energy. And I'm trying to do this with this woman. There's a small thing you should be able to just brush them off your shoulder and just move on.
I don't see it happening, but okay.
She hasn't learned that, so I'm gonna teach you to go like this. With the other hand, you should. Learn to brush things off.
I had no nails, y'all.
There we go. So
I'm trying to go natural.
That's and obviously respect falls right in line with honesty.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, listen, I respect you want to do it this way, but I still think it's wrong.
Yeah, you're being honest, and yes, I was like, there's no way it's gonna happen.
That's one thing that I truly feel like you and I would really do well together is we really honest with each other. Yeah. Like whether if it's gonna hurt my feelings,
man.
Whether if it's gonna hurt my feelings, I feel like you just going to be honest.
And listen, I believe if you're in a relationship and there's no disagreement, someone is lying to someone.
Yeah.
I made a promise to myself. If there's something that I don't like, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. Yes, I may not let it turn into a big argument. I'm just going to tell you I don't like it and I move on. Mm-hmm. In some cases, I may do a couple of back and forth just to make sure I prove my point.
Yeah.
And she's the same way. We call each other out. Just like I told you guys earlier. Later that day, I told her, you know what? There's one thing I need you to do for me. Save that energy. There's certain things that's not worth it. But she gets so caught up in the moment that she like, but it's good to be honest. Obviously, that's how she felt. That's how she felt, and she felt that made sense. That seems to be the most efficient way to get that thing done. And she was willing to fight for it. And that efficiency,
was the most efficient way.
That efficiency she's thinking about would have made absolutely no difference in the way that process was done. And I still did the process at the end of the day and still turned out to be just fine. So, but be honest.
I'm more like, let's do it
my way.
That's not true.
You can say that. Let's do it my way.
I'm very efficient.
Yes, which my way is better.
I'm just saying.
But be honest. Hey, listen. If you're in a relationship and your honesty causes your partner to detest you, then you're probably not in the right relationship because your partner needs to value honesty. Now, you don't have to argue over everything, right?
Right.
So, but it's important. It's important, and it improves the quality of your relationship because it helps you understand that person's character, the dynamics. Right. Like, I know she spends a lot of energy on things. So when she's getting heated on things, I know it's just her getting caught in the moment. So I can smile in my head and just move on, right?
And then there's like fire coming out of my ears. Like, why don't he listen? It's like, why don't this man just listen to me? But here's what I want to say. It's like, honesty may be hard for someone who's like in the beginning of a relationship, right? Yeah. So when we're dating, I had to like really, really get to know you and then start building that trust and open up and have that with you. But if you marry someone for like 5 and plus, there shouldn't be anything that you should be holding back from that person.
That shouldn't be. I heard one thing that's important. We all have a mate. Now, right now, I don't have anything that I consider like my privacy, and I want to keep this to myself. But some people may.
Yeah.
Now, if you have certain things, and it may not be something that the relationship is riding on. Maybe there's an experience that someone in your family had, and you want to keep that private. It's okay. Because, yes, it's good to be open with your partner, but sometimes there may be things that, like, for instance, your mom may share some crazy secret with you.
Oh, I'm going to tell you.
But you don't have to come in.
I'm going to tell you because we do the same thing to each other. She'll tell me something, and I'll tell her something. I mean, like my dad says, I know you girls are like best friend. I'm not going to get in between because I know if I get in between, somebody's going to say I choose. I will tell you.
Yes, but I'm not going to say you must tell me.
But I know you probably won't tell me.
Yeah.
Which is wrong.
There's certain things that may happen.
Because I know you're not going to tell me.
That you may want to keep that private. Now,
why would you not want to tell me?
But if it's something that's going to have an impact in the relationship, I think we should discuss it. But there may be things that happen. Say, for instance, something happens to a family member or something. if it's not something that you need to, I mean, not. Now, if you come and ask, I'm not going to lie about you. I'll tell you. But I can choose not to come and make that the subject. Because one thing about me, I do not like to talk about people.
Sure.
Because I believe if something's going on with someone, if I can't address it with you directly, I'm not going to go talk to someone behind your back. That's not the type of person I am. And if I know something's going on with someone and you know of it, I'm not going to come and pry you, try to get information from you as to what happened. That's not the type of... Now, if you tell me, I'll listen. Because sometimes there's some interesting stories you hear. And many times when you ask, would you have an opinion? I'm like, I wasn't there. I can't give you an opinion because I don't know what happened. I'm only hearing your side. And giving an opinion about just hearing it from someone, that's not fair to the people involved. But I'll listen because I'll tell you. Sometimes I've heard some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But... that's me saying that, yes, it's important to be honest in your relationship.
But you enjoy them, though.
Drama is enjoyable. Say that. Just say crap people are going through sometimes.
He does enjoy listening to drama.
Yeah, but going back to not everything you should share. I'm not saying keep secrets in the relationship. Things that involves the relationship, yes, definitely that needs to be out in the open. Because if you try to keep that hidden, eventually it's going to come out and it's going to bite you in your butt. But if it's things that may not have anything to do with the relationship, I don't need to come. Or there's a number of things that sometimes you may not feel like it's necessary to disclose that in the relationship. Yeah. Especially when it comes to talk about people. And you can create some boundaries. I mean, some of us have things that we may not feel like it's necessary. If it's about people, my mom and I are going to be talking about it.
If it's about people, we are going to be talking about it. And one thing I want to say is, as long as you feel comfortable, like I feel comfortable telling you whatever's in my mind, whatever's going on. Mom,
you have an urge to talk and tell stuff. So
I feel like I'm becoming like my mother. Like,
yes, I think so.
Well, that's my mom, my Betsy. Hey, Betsy. So I want to say that, it's the comfort. You're comfortable with this person. Sometimes we could be laying in bed and I have a little tea and I'm telling my husband, he does listen. He's like, really? This is what happened?
Sometimes I have no choice.
And like I said, you do enjoy the tea sometimes. Okay. Most of the times, let me correct myself. Most of the times you do. Cause I like to, let's get a little tea while we getting ready to go to bed. Or if I happen to hear something, I will share it with him.
Did you hear what happened?
Did you hear what happened, babe? But anyway, so it's just a level of comfort. I don't have no problem with my husband sharing things. I feel like he's my best friend. He's the real, he's the other best friend.
Yeah, loading my ears up with stuff. But anyway, and when you're with someone,
he's a best friend with no affection. I'm just saying.
I do have some affection. If I didn't have any, you wouldn't be with me.
He's a best friend with no affection.
If this wasn't a PG-13 rated podcast.
My other best friends have affection.
I don't know who you're talking about. See, now I should be asking questions. Hey, listen. There's certain things, and she's saying that I'm not affectionate. There are certain things that do not come to me as second nature. Right? But it's okay for your spouse to remind you. That's why we're together. We support, we complement each other. If I miss this, it's okay to remind me.
Nope.
See?
Listen, when you've been with someone for a long time, you don't have to keep reminding the person the same thing over and over again.
No.
Babe. Yes. The affection part is something that that's like my number one thing. I don't have a name for it. Yes, I love affection. And that's something that my husband knows from the get-go. But because of, like you said earlier, it's something that if he didn't have it going up, then it's going to be hard. But if you've been with someone for over a decade, I feel like some things that just need to
change.
Yes.
I've changed. Come on. I've listen.
Well, some, not a whole lot.
There's certain things for some reason sometimes it doesn't click for me that this should be important, right? And it's just kind of how I am. There's little things that does not always come to me right away that, hey, you should do this, you should do that.
It's a hassle to get this massage.
I don't think of those things. Now, she's been abusing my hands to massage her feet.
See what I mean?
It's
Hands abusing, something that your spouse, your wife really enjoys. I enjoy that the most. Like, we in the living room sitting together. We are in the watching a movie or whatever. I'll put my feet on you, and that's a sign. That's a sign to start working them. You know what I mean? But sometimes you feel like, push my leg to the side.
I'm not that rough. Come
baby,
on.
You do push my leg to the
you're
side.
You're painting me out to be a bad person. Sometimes I look at her funny and like, she's really.
You do look at me funny sometimes.
I don't push your leg like roughly saying. And you know what? Whenever she does that, she always ended up getting a massage anyway. Yeah. I don't know why she's complaining. My poor hands.
Listen, there's this guy on TikTok. I'm going to have to request him to come give me a massage, okay? Because somebody's complaining. I'm being honest right now by letting you know. I will hire a foot massage as someone to come and give me a massage. And no.
Anyway, let me... Listen, I know my deficiencies in that. And I do my best. Like, I haven't complained about these massages in a while. And I've... get a massage. And yes, I haven't picked up some flowers recently, but flowers are expensive. We're in a recession, so now I'm setting up date night so we can go out and hang out with the kids and so forth. That's on the plan. We haven't had our first one yet, but it's only January, so we're getting there. So I have a list of things that I put together just so I can make sure that I can put myself in a position to show that I have some affectionate bones in my body. And I do. You know, it's just that there's certain things that I don't quite get right away. But my handy dandy list is going to help me this year. Hopefully I don't lose it. If I do, then
well, I hope it's somewhere electronic where you can't lose your phone. Because if it's electronic, then you know it's gonna be with you, and you know it's gonna remind you, hey, date night with the wife in 2 weeks. Make sure you plan ahead of time. You know, those are the things that listen, it really helps us, right? Ladies, it really helps us to see like, okay, my husband is doing he's doing things that makes he's doing some changes more like, you know, he's doing some changes and he's making sure that he put the reminder and do the thing he needs to do. But sometimes you just gotta wait and see.
Yeah, she didn't have much confidence in me delivering.
That's
on all
not
these
true.
Things. She's like, I gotta see it happen for me to believe it will happen.
But because of past experience, though, that's how we are.
This is 2020.
That's how women are. We are based on past experience, based on high expectations, right? Then
here's what I say. You know what? I'm going to do my best. However, if something don't quite come out, I'm going to be very open and communicate that to her, because communication is important in a relationship. So if something I plan is not going, I'm going to be, clear and be upfront and let her know, hey, listen, baby, I had this plan all well. Something happened, can't be done.
Okay, then let's.
Communication is important. I let her know right ahead of time. Things that are happening,
and then let's postpone for next time.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. This happened before in the past, and I'm okay with. But don't wait until the next time comes and you're gonna tell me that something else happened, and then I'll be like, "Listen,
happen,
I definitely know that."
Yeah, and listen, but in communication is important, not just in a case like this, but whatever else is going on in a relationship, be upfront about it. Listen, if I forgot to schedule that date, I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm going to come clean. I forgot. I wasn't thinking about it. And yes, she knows well that there are certain things that I don't think about sometimes. Mm-hmm. They're just not at the top of my list. Yes, they should be, and I know that, but they're just not, and I haven't figured out a way to put them there besides having a list, which means I have to look at that list every day.
You don't.
Means I have not been doing it. So
you don't have to look at the list every day.
But she understands, but at the same time, I don't want to take her understanding as her acceptance that it's okay not to do those things.
That part.
And I'm doing my best, but be upfront, because she knows from the get-go, those were the things that I had some deficiencies in.
I agree. Yes, I know that.
And I didn't hide it or lie about it or make things up to make her believe that something else happened. No, I don't make excuses when it comes to our relationship. If I miss something, I screw up in something, I come clean. This is what happened. It didn't happen. This is the reason. No excuses. If I forgot about it, I forgot. If I didn't think about it, I didn't think about it. But I come clean. And that's important in a relationship. You gotta be willing to talk to your partner regardless of what's going on, whether they're gonna hate it or not, but come clean, because you find that you'll be free afterwards. Yes, they'll be pissed. You may go a few hours without talking to you. You may go to sleep without eating. But you can put it behind you.
One eye open.
Oh, go to sleep one eye open. But at least the next day you'll be free. You don't have to worry about it.
So you think you'll be free. But no, I'm just joking. But I agree. Communication is so important. Whether if you're dating someone in the beginning of the stage, beginning of the process, get to know that person. I mean, communication is, be honest with me, communicate with me what's going on. And that way I feel more comfortable with you. Because if you don't communicate with me, then I'm like, okay, wondering what's going on. There
could be things happening in the back end you're not aware of, and all of a sudden they're like, man, I'm done with this relationship, I'm gone.
And you're like, what just happened? What just happened? And I think it's a problem sometimes in the community where not a lot of Caribbean men communicate well with their spouse.
I don't know a lot of Caribbean men, but I'll take what you say.
No, for real.
Well, I know in our community, yes, there's in many relationships sometimes the communication piece is not there.
Well, yeah.
It's usually, I want you to do this and do that, and that's where it's then where you find the other partner may have a difference of opinion, but
I have no say on what they.
Yeah,
it's like one way communication. The other one shouldn't be, respond.
So yeah, that could be a problem in some relationship, but some people manage to make it work.
Not here. That's not how I see my parents do it.
But hey, listen, the things that we've just mentioned, and obviously we'll look at trust, honesty, communication, and affection. I'm missing one, I think. If I'm missing one, please forgive me. But these things that we've just talked about, they respect. There we go. See, your partner supports you and boosts you up and help
I got you, babe.
Help you recollect your memory when you're forgetting stuff.
That's right.
Right. So, but these things are just a few indicators. I'm sure in your relationship you can experience certain things that may be different than those things. But at least in our eyes, we see these things to be very important for your relationship to be healthy.
Yeah.
If you run into one that's not quite working the way that it should be, work at it. Just like I'm working on my affection piece. When I get it right, I don't know, but my intention is to get it right as quickly as I can so this woman can stop complaining.
That was like 10 years ago he said that.
I'm better now. But whatever it is that's going on in your relationship.
You are better now, baby.
I am. I know I'm better. But whatever's going on in your relationship, do your best. If it's a relationship you intend to stay in long term, if you're planning on breaking up next week, then say forget it. But if you intend to stay in this relationship long term, do your best to make sure that things are running the way they should be. And if they're not together, find a way to work at them, just to make sure at the end of the day, you have things close to being how they need to be or in the process of being there.
Right.
And seek help if you need help. I mean, sometimes we have inherent trust issues based on how we were raised, and we may need professional help to help us see that people are good in nature. It's just that there are a few bad ones. Like Jim once says, they travel a lot, so you're bound to run into them more than once.
That's true.
But not everybody in this world is bad. So if you have trust issues, sometimes you may need to get assistance to help you get past that.
Get a professional.
Yes, there are people, that's what they do. They help you get over your issues. But whatever it is that you may be you may need to do to get your relationship working the way it needs to be. Just be willing to do it. Put your egos on the side.
Right.
And be willing to do what's necessary to build a life together. Because this woman, as much as she talks and as much as she could try to give me commends and so forth, I still love her, and we're gonna work at things together. Some days I'm gonna say, you know what, whatever you say, I'm not gonna do it. She's gonna have fume coming out her ears, and I come and calm her down. Not fume,
fire.
She'll have fire coming out her ears, but you know what? We have fun with each other. Yes, we disagree with each other. Something more than you think. More than you think.
Yes.
She even made a comment one that I never said yes to her. She was being exaggerating. I say a lot of yeses.
That's not true.
Anyway, guys, we appreciate listening to our podcast today on what does a healthy relationship look like. And listen, in our eyes, our relationship is healthy. Yes, we have our issues, but we consider us healthy because we're working at it and we're making things right.
Yeah.
In your relationship, do whatever you need and to make sure you get there. So please remember to like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell notification so you can be notified when we release new videos. And we appreciate you guys listening.
Don't forget the comments too, you know.
Don't forget the comments. She loves those comments.
I do.
I'm hoping she's been responding to those of you who's been commenting.
I'm not sure. I've been busy, y'all.
But she has been. But, we appreciate you guys. So thank you for supporting the channel. Again, please remember to subscribe. And we will see you next Saturday.